What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Carlos Takam, and this was a 10-rounder in the heavyweight division. And this fight was Friday, September 16th, from the Montreal Casino in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And this fight was broadcasted on ESPN Plus. And in this fight, Arslanbek Makhmudov went the distance for the first time in his professional career, getting a clear-cut unanimous decision victory over Carlos Takam. So I personally scored this bout 96-92 in favor of Arslanbek Makhmudov. The three judges scored this bout 96-92 twice, agreeing with my scorecard, and 97-91 once. So I think both those scorecards are definitely acceptable. Anywhere from 4 rounds or 3 rounds, I think you could have given to Takam. So just to break this fight down round by round, the first round was a big round for Makhmudov because in the first 20 seconds, Takam got hit with a massive overhand right that wobbled him back against the ropes. He was getting hit with multiple combinations and went down in that first round in like the first 20 seconds. But then later on in that first round, Takam was also able to land some big, nice overhand rights on Arslanbek Makhmudov, and that would be something that was a key thing for Takam in winning rounds in this fight. But in round number 2, I just thought that Makhmudov landed the better shots. However, in rounds 3 and 4, there were very big rounds for Takam, in my opinion, that I gave to him because he landed multiple big leaping hooks and overhand rights flush on Makhmudov. Makhmudov did show he has a pretty solid chin in this fight, but he was getting hit with some heavy leather from Takam. But then in round number 5, that was a round that I did give to Makhmudov, and same with round number 6 I gave to Makhmudov. They were just simply rounds that he just landed the better shots in. Takam wasn't that active in those rounds, and I just thought that Makhmudov just won them based on his activity. But then in round number 7, it was looking like a very, very good round for Takam for 2 minutes and 58 seconds of it, where Takam was literally just like in round number 3 and 4. He was landing big overhand rights, big hooks, just really pressing the action on Makhmudov, winning the round, and that was the 7th. And but then in literally the last 10 seconds, maybe even 5 seconds it might have been, Makhmudov, whilst Takam overcommitted with a shot, he was left like sort of into the ropes, and then Makhmudov capitalized, countering him with a big overhand right to like the side of the head that knocked Takam down. That was a big, big round for Makhmudov, considering he was losing it up until literally the last couple seconds, where he scored a big knockdown to get a 10-8 round as opposed to a 10-9 round for Takam. But then after that knockdown round, I thought that Takam dictated the pace in the 8th round. I thought that Takam just landed the better shots. I thought that it could have been a round that you could have given to Makhmudov, but I edged it to Takam based on his activity, and that I thought he dictated the pace. But then in round number 9, that was a round I gave to Arslanbek Makhmudov. Yet again, just like in rounds 2, 5, and 6, I just thought that Makhmudov landed the better shots, and that's what I gave him that 9th round as well. But then in round number 10, that was a big round for Takam. Takam was coming forward, really trying to lay a beating on Makhmudov. He was trying to rough him up. He was trying to rough him up against the ropes, trying to throw big overhand rights. Makhmudov was occasionally exchanging with him in that 10th round, but it was primarily Takam trying to land those big overhand rights and hooks on the ropes, trying to knock out Makhmudov with one big punch. But he wasn't able to do that, but he was able to win that 10th round utilizing that style. So this was the first time Makhmudov has ever gone the distance. This was definitely his toughest test on paper, and toughest test like just in the fight, obviously, because I mean he went through some adversity in this fight, getting hit with some big shots, but he still got the job done, dropping Takam twice, and getting a clear unanimous decision victory. So this goes into the question, what is next for Arslanbek Makhmudov? Going into this fight, obviously he had all knockouts. He was built up as like a Russian killer. I mean, not obviously in that sense, but in a sense that he's knocking all his opponents out brutally, and that he will dominate a lot of the guys in heavyweight division. But this one just showed sort of, I guess you could say, some of the other skills he could have and some things he needs to work on. This did expose a little bit of stuff. I'm not going to say, oh, it exposed him as a bad fighter. It just exposed some openings in his game plan that, for example, some good counter punches in the heavyweight division that are higher up there. Like let's say a Tyson Fury or an Alexander Usyk, even someone like a Frank Sanchez who's just on the cusp of a world title. Those guys are very good counterpunchers, and they could be landing big shots on Makhmudov if he's going to come forward with his chin wide up in the air like that. But yeah, primarily he needs to work on his defense, leaving his chin up in the air. But he also did show that he could really box a bit on the outside because Takam was coming forward slightly, and Makhmudov was trying to be pretty patient in some of those rounds, and he won them. Yeah, he did show a lot in this fight compared to his other ones. And yeah, this goes into the question: what is next for Arslanbek Makhmudov? Considering that Carlos Takam by BoxRec was ranked like top 30, top 25, somewhere around there. I think that in Makhmudov's next fight, he'll face someone along that level, somewhere around there in the top 25, top 20, all the way up to maybe the top 40 in the heavyweight division. And this is by BoxRec's rankings. I think that Makhmudov could face literally anyone from number 20 to number 40 in the heavyweight division by BoxRec. Most notably, he could face someone like a Simon Keane, considering he's from Canada and that Makhmudov fights in Canada primarily. So that could be a pretty big Canadian fight. And it would be a very interesting fight considering that Simon Keane has power, but also Keane doesn't have the greatest chin. So who knows what would happen there. But another opponent that he could face that could give him a very good 10 rounds could be Jonathan Rice. Rice is a good chin. He has some pop, and he's coming off 2 solid wins over Michael Coffey. That could be another opponent he could face. And like I said, it really could be someone around the top 20 to top 40 in the heavyweight division as well. But as for Carlos Takam, he's now, I believe, 39 wins with 7 losses. He's really a veteran in the boxing ring. Fought for a world title against Anthony Joshua. He's fought some of the biggest names in the heavyweight division in this past era. Povetkin, all those guys. Joshua, obviously, as I mentioned before. I don't think he's going to retire, even though he's 41 years old. I still think that he's going to just be sort of, nowadays, I think he's sort of just, not really a journeyman, because journeyman can be used for fighters who were never really once considered a very solid fighter, but Takam was in his heyday. He was considered a very solid fighter in 2013, 2014, 2015, around there. He was really considered like a top 20 for sure heavyweight that could really give a stiff test to some of those top 10 guys. But nowadays, he really seems like a very good stepping stone for some of these prospects. And for Takam, maybe in his next fight, sorry about that, but maybe in his next fight, he could take on someone like a prospect like F.A. Ajagba. I know Ajagba did have a loss to Frank Sanchez, but he's still on the cusp of rising back up, so we could take on someone like an F.A. Ajagba on Top Rank. Maybe he could take on a lower level opponent before maybe getting another call up like this. Like I said before, maybe against someone like an Ajagba, or someone obviously against someone like Makhmudov, who we faced here, like an undefeated prospect looking to get a solid win. Over a very, very solid former world title challenger. So overall, Arslanbek Makhmudov drops Carlos Takam twice, getting a clear unanimous decision victory to go the distance for the first time in his career and to stay unbeaten. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.